This is an interesting place to start because what you see in the corner of the car here is the openness here, this porosity, this transparency or car-by air as I described it. So the air is able to flow through here and be exited behind the front wheel. That means the airflow moves at high speed, it reduces drag, and obviously in a car like this, drag, keep it to the minimum, downforce, keep it to the maximum. In terms of downforce, you've got huge areas here creating downforce, very complex multi-element wings and splitters.
Different surfaces there, all for downforce.
Yeah. So
amazing.
You've got this shell of the car that is this very elegant, beautiful, styled sculpture, and then in here you've got all this technical element. So you've got this mixture of art and science together, and of course it's all made out of beautiful materials, carbon fibre. The whole shell is carbon fibre. In the corners you've got air curtains that smooth the air over the wheels, and they've got dive planes creating the downforce. Here you've got this open area we described, so that allows the air to be smooth as it passes over the cabin, and you create this beautiful wing shape. It looks slightly aeronautical. Every designer has a picture of a fighter plane on the wall, and then sometimes you question when you see the boxy SUV, where did that come from? Where did that get forgotten, the aeronautical connection? But on this car we really used it. There are sections that remind you how it comes off the canopy of a fighter plane into the fuselage, and that mixture of soft surfaces and crisp lines are very, very like you see on the fighter plane. Nice details on the front, the badge, carbon fibre with precious metals inlaid, so that could be titanium, it could be silver, it could be gold.
Right, wow.
Headlights, very compact, latest technology, laser for main and dip beam.
When you see it from afar, it looks like this one flowing unit, and as soon as you start pointing out the details, the layers of intricacy on this thing is unbelievable.
It's like a personality of a person. You see them first of all, and then you realise there's depth to them. As you move around the car, you start to see the nice details. Beautiful magnesium wheels, very lightweight, very sculptured.
The centre locks on those are impressive, aren't they? I mean, that's just
they're going to be slightly different for production, but still going to be centre locks. But the actual design is the production intent.
So you've done away with conventional wing mirrors?
Exactly, yeah.
Now, so I assume that's a camera which relays inside?
Correct, yes. So all about reducing drag and obviously the latest technology. As we move around here,
just hold on a bit. You've seen this. The sculpture of this door is unbelievable. You must have stood back from this after you were 90% there and gone, bloody hell, lads. It looks outstanding.
I think what is really true to say is when you live with designing cars all the time, there's a point when you become sometimes not jaded, but it's become familiar. This car never fails to impress. Every day you walk into the studio, there's a different light coming through the studio. You see a different angle, different aspects of it, and you kind of go, wow, this is something special.
The depth of this is, I'm not sure if the camera's doing it justice, but the depth of the sculpture is unbelievable.
Well, when we get to the back of the car, you'll see the sort of conclusion of the movie.
Okay.
That's the really amazing bit. But here what you can see is some sculpture which is a little bit like you might see in nature. When you see like rock formations that have been carved by a glacier or a water erosion. Just something very beautiful and fluid. And of course, so you've got this piece of sculpture here. And in that way, if you're into motorsport and cars, just seeing a big fat tyre exposed. And that's all to evacuate the air, reduce drag and reduce pressure in the wheel arch, so you reduce lift. So this is where the story really comes to the conclusion. So this is the final twist in the plot.
That's unreal. How far off production is that? Or will it look?
This car is made off production release surfaces.
Seriously? So it's going to look like that? Because it looks like a concept car. That's insane. Really? So we're going to see something that resembles that on the road.
Yeah, I said our objective was to do some unique things. So
you've certainly achieved that.
I think we're the three-quarter Venturi's exit, that is unique. Putting the lights around them like two big afterburners, that's unique.
Big time. Wow.
And then we've got the usual things you'd expect. We've got active aerodynamics, so the wing deploys at speed. We've got a huge diffuser with a DRS flap.
Wow. That is so cool.
And
wow. Isn't that amazing?
And a lovely detail in here.
Well, what is this? Charging port. And built in Britain.
So an experience
What a
every
machine.
time you replenish the
Isn't that
car.
cool, man, I can't imagine what it must be like pulling up behind that at like road level. You know when you're at road height, following it.
What you
at
see of the
these-
car from behind
Yeah.
is just the amazing proportions, the width, the stance, hunkered down, muscular shoulders, and then you've got this mixture of sculpture and technical detailing. And then very nice detail here. T is the
Yes.
reversing lamp.
No way.
And then
Okay.
post-factory, people can switch on the lights. You can't do that as a production
Right,
at a
okay,
factory,
sure.
but you can illuminate this for display purposes.
Wow. That's a serious diffuser.
And because it's an electric motor, we're obviously able to start the diffuser much earlier in the under tray. So we get.
Of course, yeah. So it goes right under.
So I can't tell you the figures, but they are mind-blowing, the amount of downforce we generate with this.
Really. So it looks like you have ground effect and downforce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're using ground effect for sucking the car to the road, basically.
Yeah.
But you're also creating downforce with wings and things.
You see that? I don't know what to say about that shape. It's unbelievable.
Well, I went on holiday last year to Iceland, and I went inside a glacier, and they carved out the glacier.
Great
And when
analogy.
that illuminated, it looked a little bit like
It's a bit
this.
like that. Wow, really does like an afterburner ice cave. What a thing.
So just to complete the picture, we're putting a little LED in each one. So when the owner parks up outside their house, maybe in their living room, who knows?
Who knows?
Outside their favourite restaurant, they can illuminate these and just look at them.
these
Switch off the television,
aero caves.
switch off Love Island, and look at the car.
Unbelievable. Wow. Styling of that's but it's berserk.
We want this car to have soul as well. With modern technology, there's a danger, obviously, you take away some of the reference points we know on the car.
Yeah.
So when you walk up and you look through the engine bay, which is
Yes.
obviously motors and batteries, you've still got a lot of technical detail. So you've got the pushrod suspension in there, and you've got all the cabling and things like that on show from the electric motors.
So in terms of performance figures, in terms of, well, how does electric translate to horsepower? What will this be close to?
Well,
If you
we're not declaring final figures at the moment.
Right.
It's over 200 miles an hour, and
over 200 miles an hour.
and a huge amount of downforce. So
Having the honour of sitting in, thanks very much.
you're welcome.
It's actually really rare for me to be introduced to a car and know absolutely nothing about it. Just as a piece of context for you guys, they were filming this probably a week or so in advance of it being unveiled.
That's right. Yeah.
So far, you've done an amazing job of keeping it hush. I mean, people know some things coming, but I mean, to not have seen photos of this thing is amazing. But as a result, I'm afraid it's all over to you because I can't give these guys anything.
Well, from the interior standpoint, I think what's interesting first of all is this open dashboard, this open IP. So we've got this beam wing section, which is the instrument panel. It's very Lotus. It's doing two jobs. It ducts all the air to the vents, but it's also structural, supporting the column.
Yeah, what I particularly love is this sort of like skeleton effect towards the front of the car, where you can, I mean, if you were to be over the top of the nose, you would see my feet through the dash.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before. That's really trick.
that is very unusual, certainly.
Yeah.
And what it does is when you look at a car, is your eyes just drawn through it, on the exterior, the shapes, and then through the interior. So that gives the car a lot of motion even when it's standing still.
I particularly like the Formula-inspired rectangle wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, we did a lot of work with Gavin on that. He's
Yeah, I bet.
seen, felt and touched the best of the
Lots
best.
of wheels.
Exactly. So everything we design really needs to reflect what we're about, which is for the drivers. So you can feel in this interior, first of all, the interior wraps around you and it's highlighted by this mood lighting. So you kind of feel like you're wearing the car, so that's being for the drivers.
Right.
And then the ergonomics are very intuitive. So we're fortunate that Gavin Kershaw, one of our attributes guys, is not only an accomplished road car development engineer, but he's also a successful racing driver and has driven many of the top hypercars. So he's able to inform us what's the best of the best. All the information, all the key information is on this main screen in front of you, so you're not distracted looking around the cabin. So you've got speed, range, navigation, you've got your music, telephone, etc.
So all of the infotainment and everything is on one screen.
Yeah, so you're looking down the road or you're looking about, you're not looking around the cabin. You interface with it. There are a few controls on the wheel that you can do that, but the main one is in the center console control wheel, and you can do that without looking at it. You just toggle through things. You've obviously got a lot of controls on the steering wheel, and with Gavin we developed something which is very akin to motorsport type things. So it's all ergonomically laid out. And some really nice controls on it, some mechanical controls. You know, it's very important that the technology has a
tactile feel to it, huh?
Like a high-end camera or something like that.
Such a reassuring, gratifying click, isn't it? That.
Yes.
Well, you'll be seeing this about a week after today. I think you're pulling the covers off on the 16th.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think the world is gonna have their jaws hitting the floor, particularly from the rear of this. Honestly, I am not sure how much justice the camera is giving the rear of this. I can't emphasize enough the depth of sculpture of particularly the rear. I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible. So congratulations, good luck with the launch, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Pleasure.